You asked you one question, and 30 minutes later. Of course. That's okay. The problem is I'm the same way. She is Yes, yes. They don't want to have things to talk about.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Bill Bestfitch, and I have the honor of being your worship associate this morning. We want to welcome everyone here and those who are online to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke, with a special welcome to anyone who is here for the very first time. For those of you who are online, if you would like to share something during the joys and concerns and the lifelines portion of the service, please put that in the chat within the next 15 minutes. Our minister is the Reverend Walter LaFleur. He's on sabbatical for the moment, and today's service is provided by Tret Feuer. Tret is an award-winning singer-songwriter, guitarist, producer, and activist. A prolific artist in the contemporary singer-songwriter arena, she has released 18 albums and CDs over the course of her 51-year career. I think she started when she was 2. In addition to being a gifted songwriter, Tret has engineered and produced countless recordings by a variety of artists, including her own work, and she is the former president of Local 1000, the Traveling Musicians Association, a position she held for 6 years. Tret is a warm and engaging performer who has long championed women's and gay rights. In June, she received the Phil Oakes Award in recognition of her music and her activism for social and political justice. In addition to touring and recording, Tret teaches guitar and songwriting. She paints pet portraits on commission, and she has published Tret's Kitchen, a cookbook featuring her own recipes. On a personal note, I first heard Tret's music at Susie several years ago. My sister Karen honored me in 2017 by asking me to get the necessary authorization to perform her wedding ceremony when she married her wife, Betty, by the pool in their backyard. Tret provided the music for the service. So I'm wearing today what I wore on that September day in 2017. Tret's message today, moving forward in this new world order, is a fitting follow-up to the 2023 Susie theme, Turn Our World Around. Her opening words this morning will also serve as the chalice lighting words. At this time, I'd like to ask Erica to bring us our board report from the last board meeting, and then we will follow that with the words of welcome and the covenant. And I invite you at this time to put your minds, your hearts, and your cell phones in worship mode.
Good morning. I'm Erica Joyner, your board member and vice president of finance. I use she, her pronouns. And this place right here that we love resides on traditionally Tutelo and Monacan people's land. And here's the report. We had our board meeting last Tuesday, and here's pretty much in chronological order what happened. We signed a contract with Vianne Greek, a very knowledgeable IT person, to do weekly updates to our UUCR website, and also to help us migrate the site to the UUA's suggested template. And this should make it easier to maintain and to navigate the website. All updates will go through Susan, our office admin, who will then send them to Vianne. The board recommended that all committees use the same communications platform, Microsoft Teams, as does the staff. And informal training will be available for those who need it. And this will provide a lot of continuity to cross communications, internal cross communications. We confirmed that Joanne Spetzler and Nancy Brattain will share the quarterly special collections duties. And we are still in need of a coffee hour cart coordinator. And we all know that our church is doomed to perish without one. We are also in need of a family promise coordinator, which is a very special gift to give. So please, somebody step up to any board member. The board will be presenting an Italian-themed dinner with live entertainment provided by board members as one of our this year's service auction items. We are still working on a name for our board musicians. We thought, how about the Boardies? And then somebody said, well, that sounds an awful lot like the Friskies. And then somebody else said, well, wait a minute, they're not the Friskies anymore, they're the Still Frisky. So we thought, Still Bored. But no, we're still working on it. The board decided to model the behavior practiced at the UUA and in most UU congregations of including Indigenous land acknowledgement and pronoun preference whenever we address the congregation. The board also recommends that these two acknowledgements be used in church activities whenever else and wherever else it is appropriate. And that's up to you all. The board is looking forward to organizing committee chair meetings to be held 3 times per year. This will be an opportunity for committee chairs to share lunch and talk shop with each other and with the board. And finally, the worship associates are working on a policies and procedures manual, and the board advised them to include clarification of the qualifications for different levels of honoraria. And that's it.
Please join me as you're comfortable in reading our words of welcome and the covenant. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you express your identity, whatever your situation in life, whatever your experience of the holy, as you come seeking love, your presence here is a gift. Whether you are filled with sadness, overflowing with joy, needing to be alone with yourself, or eager to engage with others, all who welcome all are welcome here. And then the covenant, we commit to supporting each other with respect and direct communication as we work in community to explore spiritual growth and to be a force for good in the world.
My mic got switched out. I invite you, good morning to all, and I invite you to join me on the chorus of this song, which will be right above us. It's a song of celebration and hope. I walk out onto the moon as I gaze upon this big round night. And I wonder, as I always do, how the sun can make the moon seem so bright. 'Cause it's a mystery to me, and it's a mystery to others I can see. And it's a reflection of our bodies, of our souls, of our hearts, of our hearts. And I walk along the Nolan Trail as it winds along the river to the sea. And I marvel at the water as it runs so deep beneath my feet. 'Cause it's a mystery to me, and and it's a mystery to others I can see. And it's a reflection of our bodies, of our souls, of our hearts, of our hearts. Raise your voice so high, like it's a piece of the sky. Let it rain down around you, let it rain. Raise your voice so high, like it's a piece of the sky. Let it rain down around us all. Ooh, ooh. And I stand out in the morning sun, and I can feel the warmth of springtime return. And I thank my angels for another run, where I can touch the earth and taste the burn. 'Cause it's a mystery to me, and it's a mystery to others I can see. And it's a reflection of our bodies, of our souls, of our hearts, of our hearts. Raise your voice so high, like it's a piece of the sky. Let it rain down around you, let it rain. Raise your voice so high, like it's a piece of the sky. Let it rain down around us all. Sing with me. Raise your voice so high, like it's a piece of the sky. Let it rain down around you, let it rain. Raise your voice so high, like it's a piece of the sky. Let it rain down around us all. One more time. Raise your voice so high, like it's a piece of the sky. Let it rain down around you, let it rain. Raise your voice so high, like it's a piece of the sky. Let it rain down around us all. Let it rain down around us all. Let it rain down around us all. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thank you so much. Yes, yeah. Which is, are you doing the chalice lighting? You are, okay. I would like to share with you a reading as the chalice lighting by the Reverend Amy Carroll Webb. It's called Sacred Unknowing. We light this flame for the art of sacred unknowing, humbled by all that we cannot fathom in this time. We come into the presence of what we do know, perhaps the only thing we will ever know, that love is now and forever. The only answer to everything and everyone in every moment.
Please join in the chalice lighting response printed in your order of service. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, O Spirit of life.
I'd like to invite all folks who are young and young at heart to come forward for our children's message. And while you're doing that, I'll introduce myself. I'm Jessie. I'm the Director of Lifespan Faith Development here, and I use they, them pronouns. So as you're coming forward, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about what you might want to be when you grow up. And I know people ask you this question all the time, so you can give me whatever canned answer you've planned. A chef on a private yacht. A middle school teacher. I dig that. What else? A hairstylist. You can make some. A what teacher? A first grade teacher. There's a lot of teachers out here who are like, yes, more teachers. Anything else? A doctor. So when I was Acelia's age, I said that I wanted to be a snow sculptor. I wanted to make snowmen and snow people and everything out of snow. I lived on an island in Texas. When I was probably Natalie's age, I wanted to be an astronaut and an opera singer at the same time. It hadn't been done before. So I was going to do that. And then when I was probably Damien's age, that's when I decided I was going to be an actor in the theater. And I did that. I went to school to do theater. And you know what my favorite part was? Telling people what to do. And then I decided I might want to teach. And I went and taught in some schools. Then I taught other places. And then I became a camp director. And I lived at summer camp, even when it was cold outside. And at one summer camp, I was able to do that snow sculpting. We had a huge blizzard. I could jump off. I didn't, but I could have jumped off a roof into snow and been safe. That's how much snow we got. So I made all kinds of things in the snow. And I realized all the things that I wanted to be when I was younger, I could still do. Maybe not the astronaut opera singer, but I could sure put on a space helmet and sing opera if I wanted to. Just maybe not in space. I don't really want to go to space now. All of these things changed. You know, sometimes my friends, they said they wanted to be artists and they got pencils and paper and they got all these scissors and things, and they are still artists, but they use an iPad and a computer. Sometimes things change in the future. Now I want you to close your eyes, and you guys can close your eyes out there too. And I want you to think about what first grade might look like when you are a teacher. What a private yacht may look like. It might be a private yacht in space. But what might these things look like in the future? And this morning in Jedi Academy, we're going to talk about remembering things from our past to make our future more amazing. So when you imagine that future, imagine it with no limits. And I can tell you that, but I can't be in your imagination, and I can't wait to see what your first grade looks like, what your hairstyles look like, what all of those places that you've imagined look like when you get there and build them. Because tomorrow, everything can be different. So let's go upstairs and talk about how we can use our purple lightsabers to make tomorrow different. Are you guys ready? Let's do it.
Our reading this morning is by the Reverend Lynn Ungar, and it's called Pandemic. What if you thought of it as the Jews considered the Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel, cease from buying and selling, give up just for now on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life. Center down. And when your body has become still, reach out with your heart, knowing that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. Who could hardly deny that now? Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has come clear. Do not reach out with hands, reach out with your heart.
Reach out with your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, as long as we all shall live. We have all been through so much in these past 3 years, more than we ever imagined. I remember going into COVID, like many, thinking a few months, and we'll all be back to our regular routines. I'll be back to on the road by late spring. Certainly this wouldn't last into the fall. I was already booking my fall tour. Who knew it would last over 3 years? Well, I think some people knew, but not the masses, not the day-to-day people trying to live day-to-day lives in a very peculiar time. And it is not really over. There's a new variant raising its ugly head again. It is not really over. I don't know that it ever will be. Businesses have shut down. Venues have closed. Many will never gather again in close quarters. One of our daughters is still so COVID phobic that she has become agoraphobic. And during COVID, she and her husband left the Tidewater region where I live and moved to Asheville. And I had not seen her since the Christmas before COVID, even though they lived across the water. Now they're in Asheville, and last April I brought a box of photos and journals to their apartment in Asheville, having not seen her since pre-COVID. And she didn't invite me in. She hugged me outside, masked, and that was it. That's all that she can do at this point. And I hope that changes, because it is heartbreaking, not just for Lauren, my wife, and I, but for her as well, I'm sure. And this is something we could have never fathomed.
Look out the window, what do I see? Nobody there, just a reflection of me. 2020, the world full of woe. We're stuck here with no place to go. So many friends are already gone. I pull down the shade, afraid of the dawn. Slivers of memory slip through the blinds. How will we get through these times? Far too fast, far too vast, farther than we could imagine. When we've all been done with something that we can't fathom. Run to the door, lock it up tight. A dark storm is brewing, boiling all night, swallowing all that stands in its way. Pray for that brand new day. Far too fast, far too vast, farther than we could imagine. When we've all been touched by something that we can't fathom. Look to the elders, the ones still here. Let their words guide you, let go of your fear. Pay close attention, don't waver or stray. We'll get to that brand new day. Far too fast, far too fast, farther than we could imagine. When we've all been touched by something that we can't fathom. Ooh. So turn to the future, turn to the youth. They carry the courage, they hold the truth. Pay close attention, don't waver or stray. We'll get to that brand new day. Far too fast, far too fast, farther than we could imagine. When we've all been touched by something that we can't fathom. When we've all been touched by something that we can't fathom. Thank you. We simply could not fathom what was happening. So we all pulled together in so many profound ways. Zoom became our town hall, our concert venue, our meeting room, our family gathering place. We reached out as best we could without actually getting close to one another. And those formats have continued to be part of our daily routines as we see today. It's not a bad thing. I'm still doing live stream shows about one a month because I'm reaching people that will never get to see me live and who would love to see me live. I have fans in Germany, New Zealand, Australia, England, Canada that come to my online shows. And that's a great thing for me and for them. So there are good things that have come out of this time, as we know. One thing we can say for sure, we were united in our fear, yes, but also in our love and our appreciation for what we are all dealing with. And more importantly, what the first responders, our doctors, our nurses were dealing with. Women and men who are risking their lives on a day-to-day basis to save others. And New Yorkers showed their emotions in eardrum-shattering levels. New York City residents came out in force at around 7 p.m. every night, starting a metal drum beat, banging pots and pans as they stood on their balconies or by their windows to show how they felt about their hospital heroes. It became a nightly tradition, and appropriately getting louder and louder by the night. What an incredible outpouring of emotion for those who felt so helpless. It was an emotional and powerful moment to see and feel New Yorkers come together as one and reassure each other that we would get through this. It was a moment where those who felt powerless in the pandemic showed their gratitude to all the healthcare workers, all the delivery and grocery store workers, and everyone else who was out there every day in the thick of it, while so many of us were locked down in our homes. And it helped. It helped so many get through those days and nights. But now we've lost so many doctors and nurses and healthcare providers, either from COVID or from despair or an inability to continue to watch people's lives be lost. Many left their fields to heal themselves as they could. And now there is a shortage of nurses
and those who remain are fighting for good wages, something they so deserve. Now, where are those clanging pots and pans? Now, where is our compassion? How could we so quickly forget? Our first responders are still so important to us and essential to all of our well-being. And they are bone tired and soul spent. This is not what they had signed up for.
You walk these halls so sterile and silent, empty beds still damp from the tears of the lonely. If they had only had their families here with them. The echoes sound through chambers of longing, no visiting hours, no way that they could ease the yearning. It's like a burning that won't leave them. How will you ever be the same? You're bone tired and soul spent. Nothing you ever imagined from the work of the new you were meant to do. You were meant to do so much more than this and so much more. The hours are endless, but it's not about the pay. It's the promise you made to care for the ones who need you. And it feeds you and gives you a purpose. But this particular time is breaking you down. The losses are more than you ever imagined you'd deal with. And you feel it deep under the surface. How could it ever be the same? You're born tired and soul spent. Nothing you ever imagined from the work that you knew you were meant to do. You were meant to do so much more than this and so much more. You've always been ready to serve on the front lines, to fight for those who need you, to fight, to press on and do whatever it takes to beat the odds. But these odds are more than you ever imagined. Imagine. One more patient is gone and one is sent home. Could it possibly be? Does it really feel like it's easing, or is it teasing us into believing? The shifts aren't as long, but still when you get home, the losses are more than you ever imagined you deal with, and you feel it under the surface. How will you ever be the same? You're born tired and soul spent. Nothing you ever imagined from the work that you knew you were meant to do. You were meant to do so much more than this and so much more. This and so much more. This and so much more. This and so much more.
Thank you. Thank you. And where are we now? Are we really on the other side of this? And what have we learned? How many of you lost loved ones to COVID or to some other complication that was somehow part of this pandemic? I lost many friends in the last 3 years, and one just a few months ago. Not to COVID per se, but to cancer, heart attacks, and strange diseases and infections that seem to have become part of our lives in this time of dis-ease. I'm still bereft by all the losses I have suffered, but it is part of life. And as we age, as I age, I see it more and more. And all we can do is hope that there is peace in this, that there is a place beyond or around or inside of this life, some joyful passage. But in the meantime, we need to hold each other right here, right now. Hold on to each other, hold on for dear life, and appreciate how truly dear that life is. In the morning you believe you have many more years, but in the evening as you grieve, your eyes well up with tears. They say you're of an age when friends all disappear. Every day there is another one who isn't here. Home you go, eventually we're all heading home. Home you go, eventually we're all heading home. These years have held no mercy. The spirit gets so weak, you can't even hug a friend or kiss them on the cheek. An unexpected illness and another heart attack. All you want to say is please bring my buddies back. Home you go, eventually we're all heading home. Home you go, eventually we're all heading home. So long, old friend, farewell to you. I wish you well on your way. So pick up the pieces of the loss that is behind. There's more for you to do and more ways you can be kind. They all stay inside you, the ones here and those gone. And the gift that you can give is the gift of living on. Home you go, eventually we're all heading home. Home you go, eventually we're all heading home. Eventually we're all heading home. Thank you. So let's remember to take time to breathe, to hold each other closely or from afar, because we never know what could be around the corner. We must live our lives with great joy and great compassion, knowing that we are surrounded by the ones we love, and that we are protected on all sides by that love. I am sitting in this circle with my humble guides, surrounded by the ones I love, protected on all sides. Breathing out and breathing in, and holding all that's fine. Though the world around me shatters,
center on this time. If for just one moment we are still beneath the dark and the dreary, if we could shine a light so strong, we may not feel so weary. For just one moment we are still beneath the dark and the dreary. If we could shine a light so strong, we may not feel so weary. Breathing out and breathing in, and holding all that's fine. Though the world around me shatters, I center on this time. For I am sitting in this circle with my humble guides, surrounded by the ones I love, protected on all sides. May it be so. Thank you. And now I invite you into a time of meditation, of reflection, and of prayer.
Living out our covenant to be a force for good in the world requires our time, our talents, and our financial support. The ushers will now receive our gifts for the morning.
Just hold me close and hold my heart and hold on to all the things we share. There's nothing stronger than the tie that binds, the gift of the tie that binds. When the sun comes up over the horizon and the moon sets quietly in the west, I turn to you as you turn to me. There's a gift of giving in each breath we take, and the gift of receiving in kind. Just open the door for all to come in. Just hold me close and hold my heart and hold on to all the things we share. There's nothing stronger than the tie that binds, the gift of the tie that binds, the gift of the tie that binds.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Linda Wood, representing the Caring Committee this morning. And it occurred to me that we are a particular committee with specific duties, but really all of us as members of this church are on the Caring Committee. And I was thinking when Carla or Mary or anyone brings Beth to church, you're on the Caring Committee. Or when Tim enriches Sherry and Wyatt's life by inviting them out to the stable, he's on the Caring Committee. Or when Dennis builds a beautiful table to support Sherry and James and Betsy, and Lynn, he's on the Caring Committee. That all of us, by committing to this church and to our community, we're all on the Caring Committee. We all take care of each other. And I dare say that that's one reason that people join a church, is to be cared for and to care for others. So we're all on the Caring Committee. I have some really sad news this morning. Lou Singer and Dotsie Clifton want to report that their beautiful 6'10", 17-year-old grandson, William, tragically died on Wednesday in a car crash near his home in Harrisonburg. Dotsie and Lou are there and will be there for a while. William was a gentle, loving soul who was about to start JMU as a first year in a week or two. This was a terribly tragic loss for his parents, siblings, family, and friends. So much life in front of him. So let's go to a joy. Betsy Biesenbach and her husband Carl will celebrate their 30th anniversary tomorrow. If you have something that's in your heart that you would like to express through lighting a candle this morning, this is your opportunity to come up and do so.
365 days till the end. Then I start a new year and begin once again. I open my eyes to the brightness ahead. It's the zen of being, the zen of being. 12 times reminded of all that is gone. The rise in a tone, the words of a song. I close tight my eyes like they were blue once again. Not really my color, but a state I am in. It's the zen of being, the zen of being, the zen thee. 52 reasons to step forward and move. Not weak in my gait, not shy in my shoes. I open my eyes to the brightness ahead. No longer afraid, no longer afraid, no longer afraid. 60 incentives, 24 times a day, minute by minute in the most beautiful way. A smile as I wake, a tear of pure joy, a love I so cherish, 3 girls and a boy, and the zen of being, the zen of being, the zen of being, the zen of being zen.
May our prayers be heard and our hearts be restored.
My view of Linda was obscured by the music stand over there. I actually didn't realize that she was with us this morning. It's so good to have you back, Linda. Thank you. Our closing reading is from the poetry of Khalil Gibran. Music is the language of the spirit. It opens the secret of life, bringing peace, abolishing strife. I'm not going to read all the announcements to you, which are printed in your order of service, because I'm sure all of you can do that, but I do want to stress a couple of points. I hope you're prepared for Splash Day. I don't really know any more about Splash Day than what's written in your order of service, but I think Jesse has some very interesting and fun things in mind. Also want to emphasize that the Connections team and the Usher team are looking for a few more good volunteers. You know, the teams are what we used to call committees, but these teams don't require any meetings. So jump in. And finally, the service auction is coming up. Very important fundraiser for our congregation. And the official donating period is August 15 to October 1. So be thinking about what you want to do to help continue to support the work of this church. I know that many of you after the service are going to want to speak with Tret. I ask you to join her at a table at the back of the fellowship hall during coffee hour, where you also have the opportunity to peruse her wonderful CDs.
Well, I invite you again to join me on this song. This is a song that we always need in our lives. Unfortunately, the reminder that our freedoms are often in jeopardy, and we need our freedom so much. Carry freedom in your heart. Carry justice as a goal. Carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Carry freedom in your heart. Carry justice as a goal. Carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Carry freedom in your heart. Carry justice as a goal. Carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Carry freedom in your heart. Carry justice as a goal. Carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. When your seams are tearing and your sleeves are threadbare and your shoes are wearing from the road,
When your spirit's too thin and your heart's too heavy, remember all that you've been told. Carry freedom in your heart, carry justice as a goal, carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Carry freedom in your heart, carry justice as a goal, carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. When the world seems shredded and our battles stitched up and the fighting nothing more than show, when our fuel is fracked and our lives hijacked, remember all that we've been told. Carry freedom in your heart, carry justice as a goal, carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Carry freedom in your heart, carry justice as a goal, carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Still our lives aren't equal, it's just another sequel to a tragic tale that we've been sold. If I can't get married or I can't be buried by the one I've pledged forevermore, carry freedom in your heart, carry justice as a goal, carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Carry freedom in your heart, carry justice as a goal, carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Carry freedom in your heart, carry justice as a goal, carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Carry freedom in your heart, carry justice as a goal, carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Carry freedom in your heart, carry justice as a goal, carry love in every fiber of the fabric of your soul. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We give thanks for the music all around us. Each morning we hear it from the moment we open our ears. The low notes of wind around the eaves, the whoosh of water as it comes from the tap, the glug glug as it drains, the throaty whistle of the boiling kettle, the metallic tap of the spoon against the cup, the jazz percussion of our feet on the steps, the sounds of our day so familiar we hardly pay attention. We give thanks for the ability to hear. We give thanks for the sounds of life, the chatter of the squirrel, the deep purr of a cat, the sharp calls of the blue jay, the sound of someone we love laughing. May we find wisdom to enter this day with good sounds, tones and pitches and words that affirm, encourage, cherish. Our sounds affecting the world in a positive way.